Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be tackling the one layer challenge, which is one of my favorite challenges to watch on YouTube. I just think it's really interesting to see different artists tackle the challenge in different ways, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun to see digital artists work in more of a traditional artist mindset of, you know, you have one layer. You've got basically like a sheet of paper or canvas or whatever that you're working on, and that's it. You can't just go on top or below a layer and fix mistakes and stuff. So yeah, I was really excited to do this challenge. I haven't really had time to draw in the last week and a half or so. So I've been really itching to draw something, and my creative energies were flowing. And I think that this turned out pretty well, actually. I'm pretty proud of how this image turned out. Today, I was mostly inspired by cottagecore pictures on Pinterest. I was just looking up a lot of different pictures of outfits and scenery, and I don't know, I just wanted to draw a cute little Asian girl wearing some cute cottagecore clothes. And I actually end up getting rid of this hat later because I don't know, it just didn't feel right in the image, but that was the starting point. And I didn't actually end up adding a background or anything, but I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know, I'm proud of it. We'll see what you guys think. I was also inspired by an artist named Samuel Yoon, and you can find him at Samuel Yoon Art, I think, on DeviantArt, and I'm pretty sure Instagram. And his art is just so simple but really clean, is how I would describe it. I just love the vibrant colors that he uses in his portraits, and I think you can definitely tell that this image is inspired by him, with the solid color backgrounds and very vibrant colored skin. I think you can tell here that I'm starting the skin very different than I normally do. I'm blocking it in with a very dark, deep color. I feel like I normally start super light and then I add dark on top of it, but this time was a little bit different. And because I'm drawing on one layer, I wanted to use a brush that was kind of see-through, and I could use pen pressure to work with the opacity instead of just brush size. And I think that was a really successful technique for me. It really did feel like I was just painting, not just digital painting, but it felt like I was traditionally painting, and I really, really liked this workflow. And you can see as I'm coloring here that I'm adding really vibrant reds and stuff to her skin, which I normally feel like I don't do, but because I was inspired by Samuel Yoon, I feel like that made its way into my art, and I think that I want to keep doing that in the future because I really like how it felt, and the overall atmosphere at the end of the image I felt like was really successful. And in case any of you are wondering, I'm actually using a brush from the brush set that Ross Draws came out with recently, his newest brush set. I'll put a link in the description below in case anyone is interested. I think this is the marker pen. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And I love this brush. I think it worked really well with my workflow, and I like how it looks. It kind of has this nice texture, and yeah, I don't know, I will definitely be using it more in the future. This is actually the first image that I have done using the brushes since I just bought them, so I'm having a lot of fun exploring these brushes and seeing how I can use them. And I think a little bit later you'll see I use a different brush for her hair and for her clothes, and I think it just gave the image, a lot of really nice texture. Recently, I've been watching a lot of tutorials about brushwork. I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, and I really tried to put it into practice this time making different textures pop out and trying to make the image more interesting than I normally do, and a little bit more painterly. I really enjoyed this color palette that I decided to do as well. The background is just an off-white, like creamish color, which isn't all that interesting, but I feel like the character kind of makes up for that a little bit with how vibrant she's looking. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it turned out pretty successful. And also, I apologize for how often I zoom in and change the angle of the canvas. I hope it doesn't make anybody sick. I was watching this recording of me drawing, and when it's all sped up and everything, it's a little much. So next time I record myself drawing on an iPad and doing a screen recording of it, I'll try to be a little bit more aware of that so it's not so jarring when you watch it sped up. Hopefully you guys still enjoy it and it's not ruining the whole video for you. But yeah, I apologize for that. I will definitely look to that in the future for you guys. So my apologies. I think the one thing I'm sad about in this image is the way I drew her bangs, and I wanted it to be a little bit less thick so you could see a little bit more of her forehead, but I just kept adding more and more, and then I would try to chip away at it a little bit, and then it would start looking kind of weird, and so the way it ended out was like pretty thick. And yeah, I think I just want to practice hairstyles more in the future anyway, especially braids and making them look natural. For this image, I decided to make it pretty blocky, just block in dark hair and then add a couple places of highlights, and that was good enough for me. But yeah, in the future, I want to do more practice on hair and hairstyles just to make it look more natural. And I think it's pretty fun to draw too. I just don't know how to draw a bunch of different hairstyles, so something I want to do in the future. I think it'll be fun. So a lot of the tutorials that I've been watching recently have talked about hard lines, soft lines, and lines that just fade away. And I try to add a little bit of that here in this image as well. And most of the examples in the videos that I've been watching have been of concept art or like backgrounds. And I think it's maybe a little bit more important in those kind of images when there's a lot of things going on. So you can use hard lines to make a focal point, and you can use those soft lines and transitions in between two objects or two different colors to add a lot of differentiation and places of interest. But in a portrait, I still wanted to add that. I still wanted to apply the things I was learning, so I did go back in and blur some of the lines here in a second. And I think it did give it some visual interest, and I do enjoy how it looks. I don't know how important it was that I did that, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I want to be doing this more in the future, focusing on these like hard lines and soft lines, so I guess we'll see how it goes in the future when I do more like background work and full illustration. And yeah, some of the final touches that I added some bluish grays in the background against her silhouette, just to pop her out a little bit more, because the background is kind of a creamish, like a warmish color, and everything about her sweater and her hair and her skin are all also warm colors. So I thought if I added a little bit of cool colors on her, that it would pop her out a little bit, and I think that was pretty successful. At first I tried popping out like a bright red against her, and I don't think that looked very good. Some of Samuel Yoon's art had like a bright red or a bright color against the silhouette, and I thought it looked nice, but in my image I decided against that and went with more of a bluish color. And finally, I went in and did some curves to make her pop out a little bit more and edit the colors a bit. Normally at this stage, I would add a layer of color dodge or add or something and pop out certain parts of the image. But because I'm working on one layer, I didn't do that. I know on Photoshop you can actually change your brush to make it a multiply or color dodge, but I was working on Procreate and I don't think it has that feature. If it does, let me know because that would be awesome. But yeah, I think overall everything turned out really nice, and I actually did this a lot faster than my normal workflow. I only worked on this image for an hour versus normally I feel like a couple hours. So yeah, I think that this was really successful, and in the future, I don't know, maybe I'll do more pieces on just one layer because it was super fun, and I think it really pushed me to work faster and think a little bit smarter as I was working. So successful challenge in my book. Let me know if you guys liked this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what videos you'd like to see me do in the future. And I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!